Tayatan kade kade para somkade Buddhist Tayatan kade para somkade Buddhist Tayatan kade para somkade Buddhist Kakasang ani titam delle maso karsa Ini shuni kawaleta 어디다 심지어 탐제에도 톱자라나 마치바 산제에 고마를 뭐지 진행도 토바자 선다 어디서 고노죠 진행도 토바자 마다나 탐면도 진행도 토바자 디체도 엔베다가 자주 선배 랍잖아 엔베 수시는 냠슬랑게 라와래 신고래 신고래 토바래 토지 쇼만하고 저거도 안 가서 보다 라브리 쇼딩 얘기 삼삼차.
So we set our motivation as we normally do. And that motivation is really to say, like, I must do whatever I can, the best I possibly can, to attain the state of enlightenment in order to benefit sentient beings. So what does that entail? That entails my being able to perfectly train in the trainings of the Bodhisattva. And that means that I must understand what those trainings are about. And to gain that clear understanding, I must be able to rely on a non-mistaken presentation. And so it is with this in mind that I am here to hear from the Graduated Path series of teachings this morning.
다 가서 먼저 가서데 샘게 기타 저기 가서데 다 저기 샘게 거다 뭐서 가서 건다 안다데 샘게 주들라 아니 근데 내가 두고 거네 계주다 다시 남제 거네 계주 스타니데 접사 슈사바체 슈사 아니 되네 아니 된다 가서다 되네 그 고아를 가라 간삼 찾아라 지금 샘제 맞게나 탑도 삼삼제네 아니 되네 다 지금 가서데 아니 제가 말아도 다다 장주가 샘 문에다 다들 요 말이 돼 이나야 매바 수제겠다 깨답 제잖아 아니 초개고는다 지금 매바 샘제 초개 렌츠다 아니 주바 샘제 초개 렌츠잖아 되게 아니 또도 저 잡아서 어디다 ချက်.
And so we are in the process of examining and analyzing the mind of enlightenment itself, the mind of bodhicitta. And we looked into how to generate that mind by two separate methods, the 7-point cause and effect instruction and the mind of equalizing and exchanging of self and others instruction. And that also we looked into how to generate this mind through ritual, covering the aspiring element of bodhicitta and the engaging element of bodhicitta. So this we have to some extent covered at this point.
다 내가 샘제라네 군접 샘제스야다 도담 샘제스게들 요바래 어떤 다 민다도 가서나 군접 샘제스도 다 샘제 탐제게 도도 아니 다 산제 공부도 이제로 왔다 된대지라 다 군접 샘제 도담 샘제서 돈이 또베 셰럽게 샘베 아니 샘제들라 도담 샘제스
And further divisions of the mind of enlightenment include the conventional bodhicitta and then ultimate bodhicitta. And so conventional bodhicitta is that engaged in the context of our normal practices, engaging in the different, the actual intention to attain enlightenment itself, that generation of that motivation and so on. And the ultimate bodhicitta is the actions that we engage in, which are imbued with both the mind of enlightenment and wisdom. This is ultimate bodhicitta.
다 가이나면 가서 다들 구조스 가서 단다가 권다 단다데 가서 샘제 아니 저거 멤버 샘제다 주가 샘제다 지금 전주 조단제 지자들 연주 다 지금 바르바르 슈사베 온데 다다다 샘께는 다 가르쳐 버려서는 저발을 납고 요원사 저발을 납고 요원사 어다 저발을 납줘다 샘께는 저발을 납줄라 니세다 아니 가서데 개회세게 줘봤지라 랍조다 겨우 파진 타만이라 랍줄로 어서보다 sabjeni check거든요.
And so these details on the aspiring bodhicitta, engaging bodhicitta, etc., and the other different divisions, you can they're quite well explained within texts like the Bodhisattva's Way of Life and so on. So now that we have generated that mind of enlightenment, what then? Now we have to develop or engage in the activities related to that, the behaviors and practices. And so with regard to those, we say that there are the general presentation of the practices related to the children of the conquerors, that is the bodhisattvas, and then the particular presentation or focus on the final two perfections.
Okay? Sound okay?
Yeah.
Today much better looks, yeah? What is it? Pajatamata, Geshe Konchok Tsering, Geshe Konchok Tsering, what is it? Pajan to Nanata, Jimba, Sutim, Serva, and Junju, what is it? What is that? What is it? That Kava or Takaja, what Jimba to do Servacha, and some day share up the Pajan to it. And the Kandata, doing Mobushi. Rather, doing Mobushi, Takaja, because Mobushi, what Takaja, and Koachiba, near Mawa, and doing Chiba, doing Tumas, what Takaja, what's doing Mobushi. And Kavado Takaja, Pachin Tamani and Zeta, Dinaneta, because said to do it, Pachin Tamani Zeta, get you to share of the Pachin by inside, share of the Pachin there, think it's a Pachin, think it's of that, think it's a Matina Taba never inside, and the chicken, think it's a Matina Tab never inside, and the chicken, the Pachin Tamani did it, because of the thing it's a share of Nicky, what the Pachin did, what did you? Namsalanda, Pachin Namsalanda, water, need to what is it?
And so these two outlines that have just been mentioned, that is the training in the teachings or the practices rather of the children of the conquerors in general. These refer to really the first of four of the perfections, such as they are generosity, ethical conduct, patience, and enthusiastic effort. And they will also include the four means of assembling disciples, namely, that is the teacher gives whatever is necessary for the disciples to thrive, they speak pleasantly, they help others, and they are practicing what they preach. There is a consistency between their words and their actions. And then the second of these outlines will deal with, says in particular, the last two perfections, and these refer to perfection of meditation and the perfection of wisdom. And we can see here the interconnected interdependence of these two on each other, that one is ultimately wanting to develop and cultivate the wisdom, and that is done in dependence upon having the necessary penetrating power of strong concentration through the perfection of meditation.
That dinner, get Chishu, get Chishu and the Chishu that share the Pachidra. Yala data, Tajan, share up to be share up to the Sungsta. That Jimbala Soba, that Pajin Hamatic, the Pajin Shabatic, me so Garsana, share the Pajin. That my give one upon the picture, touch by your ship, so what did it?
So it is understood that of the six perfections, wisdom is paramount. And indeed, it is stated that the other five perfections are for the purpose of generating wisdom. And so here, it's very, very important that we keep that in mind, that we generate wisdom to whatever extent we have not generated it thus far, and we allow to flourish the wisdom that has thus far been generated.
Da sherab le chida kuzo be sherada donda be sheras yongure de ineta kuzo be sherab ge chembor da dinana da donda be sherada da ge chishu na chishu ngarazo ane chige koala khote dunghe nyonde midyo todo bate de garjene yongo yoresna garjene yongo sara ngarazo koaba inza yongo yorwa 다 코아바데 되네 용거에 가려서나 아니 돈다 베셔라 마도 왔잖아 마도 갈 때는 용되고 돈다 베셔라도 뭐 마도 왔지 아니 들라때네 다 가서도 다 그저 단지 마리바게 단지 마리바 들라 때네 아니 다 그저 좀 들라 다도 주반나 나와다도 셴 아니 들라 때네 다 토스잖아 원남에 그 봐도 다 코디에 돼 안디 코디고 요봐 디 코디고 요래 어떻게
And so of course, wisdom also has the divisions of conventional wisdom and ultimate wisdom. And again, what is being referred to here in terms of emphasizing the importance of wisdom is really emphasizing the importance of ultimate wisdom. This is very, very important that because the very experience that we have in cyclic existence, the why behind our having to experience so much suffering, so much dissatisfaction and frustration, is because we're in cyclic existence itself. And what brings us, what causes us to again be reborn in cyclic existence is this the lack of a realization of ultimate wisdom. In other words, we are inundated, we are very much kind of suppressed by an ignorance with regard to the true nature of reality, that things appear to us as if they existed in the way that they appeared. We grasp onto that appearance, we engage in the automatic actions of aversion and attachment, and on the basis of that create so many karmas that keep us in cyclic existence forever. And so it's unless we develop the wisdom, the ultimate wisdom, that really can see the lack of the true existence of reality and uproot this ignorance, we will not be able to free ourselves from cyclic existence.
다다 subject라 다 셈케는 줘발라 랍술라 니제 계획 가서 계획 세계 줘발질라 랍술다 계획 빠진 다만이 랍술지 어쩌는지 다 당부들라 다 가자저 당부들라 니제는 계속 계획 세계 줘발질라 랍술들라 니제는 안다 랍술들라 니제는 다 뒤가서나 신바sam게 다 배는 거서 된두게 셰유나 고 조다는 신바sam 제대로요 다 나도 리바스는데 아니 나도 리바스도 다 가자 저 신바sam게 배로 말다 신바sam게 보다 귤에 깨버지고 요바 인사 근데 인바인사 잘 먹고 쉬니 와다 가자 저기 나라도 나도 리바 롭존 제네 제고에 김전에 가려서나 다디 다 윤내가 랑귤에 깨버지 인바인사 깨버지 받으라 신바sam게 편도금도 신바sam데 다 제가 배나 기계인에 야나 대답 배자래 된대지는 신에 안 된대게 셔랍대 가르쳐서나 표준거 셔랍 쓰기로 와. 네. 표준거 셔랍 모두 좋아해 땅두고 땅두고 요 말이야. 얘네 개쳐버려. 다 표준거 셔랍 제자라 참 마셔 봤잖아. 다 가르치고 있잖아. 디 인배 좀세다 랑도면 표준거 셔랍도 현도 그래. 다 랑도면 여바 잡에 쳐도 아니 다 가르치고 그러스나 아니 지 좀세 초 망분에 삼로 땅제네. 초 망분에 삼로 땅제네. 아니 가르치고 그러스나 다 아니 저기 가서다 다디 임바데 랑외는 뭐 쳐봤어요. 다들 삼중의 시럽차. 다들 랑도의 시럽차 되게 요래. 다 된데가 삼중의 시럽 깨봐 얘나 아니 갈아 가서 좋아해도 그래. 얘나 단도야 아니 저 가서다 뿌다다 다야다 공부 타면을 빼야 돼. 아니 검중의 시럽자. 다 검중의 시럽 깨워 아니 무슨도 또 되네. 아니 공부 타면도 빼는다. 상계 고마서 뭐다 딜레테는 좀 두고 요래. 딜레테는 퇴바상 거다. 빼는 가라서 방법이 저기 렌데 신기 요래 렌데 저 레라기 요래 겨왕가지 요래라기 요래 아 근데 중간에랑 렌이 바사발 답을 강에 그래 렌이 바사 레라기다 이내 강에 처음도 남자 두고 줄로 수쇼고도 와. 대 가르다 된 거였으나 어느 삼중계 토네 어느 고안이네 랑도빙 예바 드라마도 와. 안들라 검중계 시험 맞게 봐서 용되기도 와. 용되기도 와. 다딘서 다딘데 용해셔다 아니 저기 다가자 내가 튀다 이수 체제는 아니 란줄에 깨봐 쏘고 있들 왔다 어디를 자 아니 튀기 보고를 제다 저 튼점 시다 저 출로 어디를 자
And so that So with regard to these two different outlines that we'll be looking at now, the general examination of the practices related to the children of the conquerors, and in particular the last two perfections. And that with regard to the first of these, that is the when we'll be looking at the general practices, being the first four of the six perfections, and then the 4 ways of accumulating disciples. This has again 2 subheadings: what to do in the actual session, and then what to do between session times. And that with regard to the first, it has 3 different sections again: the preparatory practices, the actual body of the session itself, and what to do at the end in conclusion. And so, but at the outset, we must understand here that the information that we are about to receive, in terms of in the Buddhist context, when we are studying, it is at variance with, say, what is presented and the purpose behind which modern education is presented. And I've pointed this out many times before, that when we engage in modern education, we gain knowledge. That's fine. But in the Buddhist context, knowledge itself is not enough. We must deepen that knowledge. We must be able to actually gain a self-one understanding of that knowledge. And this is because if we stick at just having the information itself, just the bare data of the information, that when we encounter problems, then we are overcome by these problems again. We will not be able to handle them. And that here it's understood that this, therefore, from the point of view of Buddhist information, when it comes to understanding, we have to really refine and deepen that understanding through both the wisdom arising from study, the wisdom arising from contemplation, and the wisdom arising from meditation. And so here, the assimilation of the information, we can learn it, we can know it. That's the wisdom arising from learning. But we have to deepen that through the wisdom arising from contemplation. This requires us to analyze what we think we know. We have to reach for an understanding that we have gained within ourselves, because just having the information from a teacher or from a text is information that is other-powered, as it were. It's not one for ourselves. We have to make it our own through our own analysis of that information, to see what really sits with us, what we really can naturally take on, and to see the logic behind it. This is a crucial aspect of Buddhist education, and this is known as the wisdom arising from contemplation. And then thereafter, we deepen that understanding again through the wisdom arising from meditation. And this is the realm of direct realization of the information. And so we habituate to what we have accepted and understood until it becomes part and parcel of our lives. And this is very, very important. And so, this is the issue that is at hand. I've said this again many times, that we may have an understanding of the law of cause and effect, of past and future lives, and so on, all the different data around Buddhism, the details of that. But when problems arise for us, we don't integrate that understanding. We point the finger outwards, pointing at other people and laying the blame elsewhere. This is a sign that we have, though we have some wisdom arising from study, we have not yet cultivated the wisdom arising from contemplation or meditation.
답변은 투기들라다 지다제 가서데다 지금 조금의 연구 요래라 아니 정가서 내당보는 또 제검전은 양도 아니 디토를 좀 제가 삼로다는 초정마서 초망분의 삼로다는 보다 제공 제네 어떻게 제 어떻게 쳤다 어떻게 쳤다 내게 아니 내게 녀바 딜라다 다라래샤 다 팀도 심미도 삼삼저다 녀바니네 소소르스는 많이 받잖아 저부터 가리네 용초그래 삼삼전 제바제도 아니 저기 태송 도스고고요 태송 고고요래 태송들라 아니 태송 니요고요래 동주의 태송다 동미주의 태송 니요래 니요고요래 다 간제 저기 가서 저 니요고요 다 되는 인자 다 간제 저 가리네 용초그래 삼삼전네 쟤는 안 제바제도 아니 오늘 전에 딱 뭐요 내주대 아니 저 랑고 못쳐야다 아니 때 녀바녀도야 땐데편도 요 되겠죠 당보다 lö제 차장 다가라 이바 다가라 저 차산 치바이나 아니 뭐요 내주 이도요 말 제범세도 다 저기 오늘 전에 제바제다 대 다간제 저기 가서도 저기 소소 되고 유명 계자 말이 소소 가마가 계자 말이야 딱 가서다 저기 가서도 세마리가 실라샤베 토네 아니 지 용제 양다가 토네 잡된 그 참아 유명을 때잖아 아니 대 샤야지 나 잡된 그 참아 여바 얘나 아니 고바 탐에도 패더라 고바 탐에도 패서다 먼저 산계에서 뒤래다 아니 고바 탐에도 패겐들라 아니 산계에 쓰기요래 와 산계에서 고단데 이바에서 아니 거 잡된 참아 답에 여되겐들라 아니 고바 탐에도 패두고 열어 와다 들잖아요 잡된 참아 두게 면도 와다 좀자 타고 리고나 삼로다는 아니 되네 니바는 뿌다 보니고 다 니바들라 아니 조금 전에 아니 정고som 또 없어 돼야 와된다 다 튼전에 다 튼잠수야 남장 고소도 또 두고 요 말이 또 두고 매번 인자 고som 또 토나다 아니 교화되고 요 말다 또 두고 매번자 다디 아니 잡된 거 쳐도 튼잠라냐 아니 디다 튼베기 아니 지가서라 다 지게 배자 로예레 졸린지예레 아니 삼로 땅예레 디다 튼베 토네 디다 튼바 제바 얘나 아니 야 튼 제마들 대원도 아니 지고 야 누바데 아니 디다 튼게까지 튼잠은 누바데 튼잠게까지 튼은 누바데 지그로 수치는 안데 뭐서도 또 투여라니 켜가지고 열마 어디 튼은 튼잠 뉴스 챗 어디죠
And so this process of examining what we should be doing in the actual meditation session itself and in then the period between meditation, in between the meditation sessions. So here it's very, very important to begin with the kind of intention that we have ourselves to be able to really engage with the material, whether within the session or between the sessions, in such a way that we extract the wisdom from the triple approach of the wisdom arising from learning, from contemplation, and from meditation. And this is where, of course, the meditation has an important part. And so, of course, placement or focus meditation is extremely important. But here at the outset, analytical meditation should be emphasized much, much more. It's very, very important, especially in the context of cultivating the wisdom arising from contemplation. And this is where we take the subject matter, here, of course, one of the six perfections and so on, and we examine it from many, many different angles in order to gain a sense of conviction with regard to what we will put into practice. And then, when we have that sense of conviction, then we can use our focused meditation to bring it home to us and to hopefully gain some sense of direct understanding or realization from it. In this process, doubt can also be an important aspect. It's not something to be discarded, but we have two different kinds of doubt. Doubt that is veering towards the fact, and doubt which is veering away from the fact. We should try to emphasize the first of these, to see that if whatever is presented to us, that we start off with the presumption that, well, you know, what is being stated here could be possible. I'll put it to analysis, but you start off with more of a positive veering towards the fact kind of doubt, which is there for you to prove or not to prove. And so here, it's very, very important to have that sense that pushes you, the doubt that pushes you to analyze. it's a very important aspect of the Buddhist approach. And so here, again, the issue is that we need to be able to approach the information in our meditation in a session and between our meditation session in such a way that we subject it to an analysis that is not based on what we desire or don't desire, an analysis which is not based on what we'd like or not like to occur, but an analysis which is purely based on valid reasoning, an approach that is backed up by valid reasoning. And this is incredibly important. And that if we, whatever we gain from that approach, that is going to develop limitlessly and to the point of perfection, to the point of Buddhahood itself. And so it's important that we stick with the subject matter, we analyze it from using valid reasoning to the point again where we gain that sense of conviction with regard to what is being presented. Once we have that sense of conviction, then we switch to focused meditation. Focused meditation to again try to bring that to the point of a direct realization. Now, this is an approach that we must have consistently over the course of the session and into the between session times. That it's not simply a matter of finishing the session and then having a big sigh of relief that we have a break, but during the between session times we try to read texts that are relevant to what we're meditating on. We try to engage in conversations with like-minded people on the subject matter that we are meditating on, so that the session and the in-between session times are not two completely separate elements of our practice, but they are something which is mutually beneficial. Both of them are important in our overall practice.
먼저 내가 지단다 배 로가래 내가 지된 게 내가 조다는 지마이나 어거다 다 지금 퉁고 뭐더다 다 내가 집에 갑체 아니 지금 단다데 가서 튼잠데 아니 예수 잡에 갑서로 저러 왔더니 배 걸었다 조다 배 로가로 와 그리고 내가 다 살마단 야기로 하면 이거 군에 예수 잡에 여러 와 다다데 대대 많이 받잖아 거제 나로기 다 지금 나라 쪽에 다 지금 가서다 지금 가서 다 동네디 아니 지금 가서도 뭐유 내주다 미주바 지금 삼로다네 네 연구 인자 뭐유 내주다 미주바 나와다도 현의 연구 인자 다들 임바동 다 뭐트네 아니 대 뭐유 내주 투바 가리바 들로로 검초네 아니 디 아니 검바디 아니 데네 다 지금 튼다 투점 예수 채네 다디 아니 가서다 다 나랑 쪽에 다 지금 가서다 소소게 아니 지금 디 아니 소소 미세다 투바 줘도야지 아니 다 지금 삼로데 아니 지금 거두이네 아니 지금 가서다 가서 랑생게 자투야지 영화죠 다도 튼다 투점 예수 채는 검지 때문에 와 거기 다 가서 다 지기 결합서 내쫄리 영화치도 그러다 당고 배주도스 마치는 용거 말고 가서 나라들 랑가들 드라마니와 인자 아니 아니 다제 탑지라 투제 첨부 때부터 되게 냠용도 안에 봤소네 아니 나라쪽다 아니 아니 당 레도 레모도 제바체도 못쳐바테 아니 못쳐네 아니 데 못쳐네 디톨다 아까 잠선에 거 지고서데 뭐유게 내쳐다 잡된 참아요 뭐유게 내쳐면 딱 추바지 온거 저도 홀 잡된 참아요 말에 딱 남신나 거 다제 추바를 저도 근데 밤에 이만 다 줘봐라 다 줘봐라 보다 대인비도 보다 대양 먼저 남주기 보다 당고 검자에 다 예수의 가는 다들 삼천원 마다는 다 열려진 대학 티켓이다 말이야 다 지금 르다 셈니데 헬라밥제는 헬라밥 구양부제 아니 제 가시 쪼신 거네 제체 얘네야 삼록은 니바디 말아봐 제체 모두네 데다 저와요 맞지 어때잖아 안 하도도 배는 가서도 남주 지 가서도 배는 가사에 다 지저 남주 초가가 조다 뭐야 잡데 되게 있어요 또 배는 다지서로 따놓고 근데 전에 그 초가라한테 빼 삼로 약고 따는데 봐 이제서 다 집번에 가서도 검다 가서도 차선에다 되게 끼어도 안 하고 차 아니 차선 되게 빼시고 내가 치고 있어요. 아니 내가 치고 있어. 아니 때는 당도 체든 예수자야 주되는 아니 그 하라 검전에 아니 나타한테 나지 예수자야 쳐도 당체서는 아니 대바자스 당체도 나라도 나타해도 쪼제 봐줘 삼모데 쇼쇼 딴 거요 말봐. 근데 단다 저가 당어도 딱 검부 쪼야 됐다. 그러면 삼모다는다. 미국 마두데 제국이 있어요. 아니 또 당체도 예수자야 쳐도 나타해서 전 검불로 쪽에 딱 가서래. 아니 딱 간자 저기 딱 검자네 아니 당체는 전에 대바자스 나타났을 거다. 어디서 숨도 하고 어디서 되는 동안 다 네가 뭐 저거 저 먼저 되면은 최종 주제 냠내려. 아니 코나서 그런 난게도 가르수고도 되고 개치 뭐 세잖아. 아니 자도 받지. 아니 되게 제만에 코나서 난시 용투에를 잡아 열봐.
And so this approach of what to do during the session and what to do between sessions is of course at variance with the way that we as lay people live our lives. In many ways there's work time and then there's the break or relaxation time after work, and that kind of never the two shall meet, as it were, isn't it? So we keep those very, very separate. But here we're talking about, the inner work of what we have to do, the necessary consistency of approach to make that effective. So here, it's important for us that when suffering arises, regardless of when that is, that we actually immediately set the mind to see how this does not accord with reality. Why is it that the suffering is arising? That I find it unbearable, and so on. And that we must find a quick solution to this, a quick understanding of that, and that we enter into the analytical approach sort of automatically, and that's very, very important. That all of our lives are, as it were, backed up and supported by the valid reasoning that arises out of such analysis, and to make that a natural part of our everyday lives is very, very important. And that is when we look into any feelings or disruption or any incident that occurs for us, that we can back that up by the experience that we have gained through previous analysis, that we recognize what the actuality of this situation is. We see apply the valid reasoning and understanding that any mistaken perception is going to mitigate against our being able to handle this in a solid way. And so it's very, very important that we are able to extricate ourselves from such mistaken perceptions, mistaken interpretations of what's happening for us, and to always have that sense of immediately moving into the valid analysis to get to the bottom of what it is that's occurring. So this is very, very important, to always rely on valid reasoning and to cut out the mistaken perceptions. And then in the sense of, meditations itself, such as when we're not doing rituals or doing actual sadhanas and so on, generating ourselves as the deity and going through the different parts of the ritual practice. It's important for us to maintain as high a focus as we can, as tight a focus as we can on what we're doing. It's only when we become tired that we are allowed to relax that a little bit. This is what's recommended. And it's often recommended that this is the point at which one can engage in the recitation of mantra. The mantra is related to that particular practice. In fact, this comes from Arya Nagarjuna himself. Said when things are very tired or exhausted, then you can slightly relax to engage in mantra recitation. And so this is to show that one should not take kind of an extreme approach as well to one's effort, and that when we are working hard at our analysis, when we're working hard in the session time or in any other practice that we're engaging, that when it comes to relaxation, there is still a sense of delight in what we're doing. There is a sense of approval in what we're doing. We're not just kind of like, letting it all flaking out into a state of no focus whatsoever. And so it's a very, very important that we take this kind of measured approach. And so continuing on then, we have the three elements of the preparatory practices, the main session, and the concluding part of the meditation session. Here, looking into what we do at the outset again, the preparatory practices. And in line with all of the teachings regarding this text, we begin by generating the merit field in the space in front of us. And here we begin with the central figure of our Guru Manindra at the very, very center of that, on a lion throne, etc. And then at the back we have the lineage of the gurus from the consecrated practices lineage, rising up one on top of the other, until at the very peak of that is the head of that lineage of Vajradhara. And then on the left and right, we have established the lineages of the vast practices and the profound view, respectively, headed by Arya Maitreya and Lord Manjushri. And under the grouping of Arya Maitreya of the extensive or vast practices, there are some of the leading lights of the lineage lamas there, such as Arya Asanga and Arya Vasubandhu. And then on the other side, some of the main gurus related to the lineage of the profound view, together with Manjushri, are, of course, Arya Nagarjuna, Chandakirti, Buddha Palita, etc., etc. And then below them on both sides, again, the different schools of the Kadampa lineages, namely the Lamrim school, the textual school, and the instructional school of the Kadampa lineages. Below them again, on both sides, the grouping of the Geluk tradition and the lineage lamas, at the center of which is Je Rinpoche Lama Tsongkhapa. Again, moving to the central figure, and just below the throne of the central figure, you'll find the grouping of our own gurus surrounding our root guru at the center. And then there, in surrounding area of those, are the different sets of the tantric lineages, the highest Yoga Tantra, Anatara Yoga Tantra, the Charya, the Yoga Tantra lineages, the Kriya and the Charya and the Kriya Tantric lineage sets, with the different deities represented there. Again, below them, we'll have all of the Buddhas, the Buddhas of 1,000 Buddhas of this fortunate eon, etc. And then we have the great Bodhisattvas, and then the hearers and solitary realizers lineages, the Arhats, and then below the Arhats, the Dakas, Dakinis, and then the Dharma protectors. So that until we have established what we have in our own minds, ascertained as the complete merit field, with all members present and correct without exception. At this point, then from the heart centers of all the different members of the merit field, light rays emanate, and drawing back all the wisdom beings from their natural abodes, and they dissolve into all the members of the merit field.
我的前阵呢，他感觉这个我的但一些本我出来听说我的公布下，他感觉所幸这个社会事务这个那差多呀，他讲说他的公布下面的考不的，我那后来得越上见，越上见，我的那公布些。公布些，让给他过的，让了真起了嘛，这个什么叫他多日主个什么叫他们家马上我没把有事，他们家讲日主所说个东西原些吧可以了，那么明那些钱呢，出现得到了，当然对吧，一起个对吧，我这个对吧了说白的，我让说对吧，给我那些，我让说对吧，给我就，他的日主个什么叫看看个，这搞啥的，我他出现得到了，我的那个他对吧，给个有上，对吧，给的，我的是有对吧，就公布些，我的是。
And that, you know, how difficult it might be for us to really have a very clear, crystal clear visualization as has been described. It might be quite difficult without our having habituated to doing that time and time again. But what we must have, what we really need to have, is the certainty that the merit field is there, present, there in the space in front of us. That's very, very important for us. Now we turn our attention to the space all around us, in which are all kind, mother, sentient beings of the 6 realms of existence. They are experiencing all the different sufferings of those 6 realms, but with a human understanding, a human consciousness. And as such also, they, like us, are imbued with a different faith towards the objects of refuge in the merit field, the clear faith, the faith of aspiration, and the manifest faith, that we all look towards and have trust in the objects of refuge there on that account.
Oh yeah. What did it say? What did it say? And it's simple, maybe that don't make it now. Around the coconut won't take your water, and don't make it now to tell a tenant, simple, maybe ninja. And take a casolata, social dagger, and take a casolata, Kuzo too. You and their chile la sober, take and you and their samotan, and social maybe deba. What did they check? What did it?
So that from our point of view, that we have through our focus on the suffering of all kind, mother sentient beings all around us, a sense of compassion that arises, and simultaneously through focusing on the different qualities of the merit field, of their body, speech, and mind, the qualities of their enlightened activities, etc., that we have this sense of trusting faith in their capacity to help.
What is it? Kubashina, Nakoduina, the summer down to Waina, in Jimmy Combata, Haga, the Chimbota, the Nego Kusun to the Mokoyama, Tagarangi, some Tangina, and a Rangi, Takanjaja. That Rota, Sanja, Janju Sambasa Tobola, Negazota, Kabayine. And how don't the Sanja Sigate, and Cosodo Kutu Sunjure. Two Kajal, Kui Chabare, Kukajal, that two Chabare, Kutu Sunju Chate. Kabayine, that Sanja Yutage, what is that? You did. At the day in that, and Marazuki, Mevachana, and it did that kind of Bobasa did not to show so that because of social Kabame Vachana, they Yure. And that what in the church and Kumbashe, what the Kumbashe, what in the church. And the Lataka, that Namju Jordan and Dagi, would let Taka Yala to Bamende that Java, that society Tanchi. And Rota did the Chavakala and Rangi. And the ticket that Lumambu said that one in the Yungu Tapina, because of the Sambuja Molam that you know what is Yungu, what it is true in it, Yamena, and it's around a chatty or Sablochanata, Toma Mevana, so the Kawa Talent was Lenyor, and the Kawa Talent was Lenyo Kanga, Tanda Poto, Kawa Kansas Lenyor, Tigaka, and Yamdo, Takaje Yala to a meditation. What a society can't what it is church and Taka Tomame when the Tati gave what he gave when you was not Tomame when they gave a talent to get Kangeta. Less about Toto Sawa Yungu, the mountain, and Yamasati, then Yamasata. And the Antique less our ticket, and also to many on the shore, and my own to many on the country or water. That ticket, my Yamdo, so I type of my guess the time to Yamdo, what the teacher Taka Judge Kanjaj was what Taka Judge Yala to amend the Java, what the chip. 다 간제 좀 말아줘. 저기 다 수인의 개침벌 믹스에 가서 레당보라. 아니 저 초사 집장 지역이다. 야라 뒤배기 어느 거는 초사 집장 지역 하가지 요 말이야. 아니 이거 초사 집장 야부터 인지면 저 구송도 된다. 안 쳐봐 표현만 보는데 그게 그거요 말이야. 랑길로이 줘봐이나. 줘봐이나 가봐이나 야라 뒤배도 초사 집장 제도했지.
So now we, engage in the reflection and the focus that here, regardless of where we are, that we engage in like all the correct, having everything correct in terms of our meditation hall or our place of practice, or indeed when we're in a temple or in any other way. It's really not necessary. It's good to have it, but really not necessary. It's important for us to understand that this sort of thinking, of the developing of our mind in this way, of engaging in practices of especially purification and accumulation of merit, are very, very important for us at this stage. Because at this stage in the visualization of the merit field and so on, that is, we offer the 7-limb prayer and the mandala at this point. This is a very, very important consideration. That this is because we can engage in this kind of practice anywhere at any time, as long as we're cognizant of it in our own minds. And this is because, of course, we can make these offerings to the Buddha anywhere, because of the Buddha's omniscience. There is this, wherever the Buddha's mind pervades, therein the body pervades. Wherever the Buddha's body pervades, therein the Buddha's mind pervades as well. That means wherever we are, the Buddha is also there. And that this is why then we can have that focus on the Buddha, to make these offerings, to develop these practices of purification and accumulation are very, very key for us. And that here, to engage in them in a way to use the power of our own imagination to understand that we have had countless lives since a beginningless time. And no doubt in all these previous lives as well, yeah, we have engaged in some virtue, no doubt, but of course we have probably engaged in a great deal more negativity. So it's a very good tactic for us to be able to imagine that we are engaging in these practices of the 7 in prayer, the offering of mandala, the purification, in other words, and accumulation of merit in the company of all our previous lives, and that we are all doing the recitations together, and that this is stated in the King of Prayers as well, that we can call up all these, all the lives that I've had since a beginningless time to engage in that, and that as beginners, I think it is very, very important for us to understand that progress is very much dependent upon us at this point, to the extent to which we can bring to mind these practices of purification, of the negativities and obstacles that may be holding us back, and developing positive merit imprints to be able to power our dedication and progress on the path as well. And so we should take really every opportunity in every context, in every place, to try to do this.
Yala Dubade, that Chogaki, do also Mabu, Kasha 6 sheets met to make the Yore and to Kasha Toski, in a sick Malu the Gage of Shirabari. That Yana Susu Motoba, Chancewa, and Casada, that show up to a Shabbat Lijuba, Chancewa, the church, Shabbat, Jesuit. What are the get the Kaja to get the water batching, and when I Kora, what I check Caso de Kaptoki, and the Tata, some Mikotone, that's not called the Mambuto Savari, and the Toti Kevashume, what I can what the Kapto, some Tanchen, and what the Chena, and Jetuache, the Taki, Ketchumures, and the Yala to Mendeta Chava, Mendeta Chava preacher, and the Neta, at the net there, and the Toshin Yard Duchen, and the Toshin Yard do. But that's what Horala, young, and it Nabu was a Shadan, you get Toshin Shansha when this is into Haka, yourself, what did you come my Shabajan? But when I got a sobo crap again, and it bash, which is Daka Chicasuda, Tachi Casotanga, Milos on that, 2 days how she would just shoot you at the witch. And it was a and it bear, and it Casataka. The Casota, Juba Pato never doing, Mart doing, and Semjala Pandoche, Ya, Juba to get the Yatsu, and the Kachi, Casota, she would Casota, that's how you take it. That's how you take it. What are the digit? 2 days how you take it. What are the digit? Ya, social data, social red and Shiram, the Takajo, the Semja come. And name in Dawala, to a bottom member doing and a subject to a bottom member. Yadina, and to Jana Yatu Tim, Yan part to what is the best? She would Takajaji Kasoda, she would to that how you take it back. Don't do Shiba. What in the commercial gets me, but what in the Chen, and then social yard you want to, and make a Takaja Migration, the church of Suman at the Yachila chicken with Yatu and to a rank that. Lama party. And you because of the Jabu Namatonga Champion Juba to get the Chilla cheating with Yatin and because of the Katamla Juba to get Chilla cheating with Yatin and Jam Jayan party. Jam what Jam Jayan party for it. Janet and Takaja Yanajina Juba Lama de Chilla cheating with Yatim and Yao Dodge Tim. What that Lamangatilla mission? That again tie about 2 Shaiwa. That they get 2 Chilla cheating and Lamangatilla mixing what in this channel. And then Lamanga de la Mine, what the general uncle can't. That again, Kewu should do Satu, that Nala to the doors, Lela to young some of the doors, Lela to Coaching, doors Lela to Committee, doors Lela. That you get there, and Yao Dodge and Martin Lamatuan Dodge, but in Jam Jani, the Lamatuan Dodge, Rank didn't say Lama dear, and Lamatuan Dodge, that to Gacola, but Nesu some such. What are Lamatuan Dodge? What that again? That was Lela to do him. Some look at that because a Luces or Joa, those Lela to that. Lela to what a deal of mixture. What at anything that they cause of the Jamaican Lama had 200 chance or the traditional Lama 200 chance, this is a good 200 chance. 군대 라마라 통한도 잘 기도군 라마라 통한도 잘 소화돼 칸도군 라마라 통한도 추종군 라마라 통한도 잘 소화돼서 딱한자 잡내 군대 라마라 통한도 잘 소화도 잡내 군족에는 쓸때 직책 어떻게 쳐
So also in the in following up this point about trying to integrate a sense of practice in the context of purifying our negativities and accumulating positive merit in the course of our lives, in the course of our day, in the course of our everyday activities. It's not necessary that this should be some part of an elaborate recitation of lines and so on. What we really need to, of course, in order for even the efficiency of practice is to have a very much condensing, the distilling the essence of what it needs to be. In other words, say, for example, we're operating on the basis of the 7-limb practice. There are many different ways of looking into this. They're simply listed in a 4-line verse. But it's at least to have the understanding of what they are in terms of, the process of offering, prostration, offering, the confession, the request to stay, the request to turn the wheel of Dharma, the rejoicing, and the dedication, and so on. Just to have the essence of what they are, to be able to address that on a kind of easy basis, to be able to do that constantly is very, very important. And so, and then in terms of the merit field itself, if we're generating the merit field like we are now as well, that it's key to understand that we're not generating some sort of a 2-dimensional static view in that merit field, but that this is a very much a 3-dimensional and an extremely active thoroughfare of action that the merit field, that these enlightened beings are moving out of the merit field, heading out to benefit sentient beings. Others are at the same time returning, and so it's like a very busy thoroughfare that is happening all the time. And this is very important for understanding. This is actually occurring. This is actually real. This is actually alive, happening now. And it's very, very important that we have that sense of something that is not just a tableau in front of us, but very much a 3-dimensional reality. So this is the setting up our practice. Then we dissolve the merit field, and then we dissolve that in the usual way, beginning with the lineage of the consecrated practices, dissolving up into the center of the main figure of Vajradhara. Then on both sides, at the same time, we have the different groupings, starting with the Geluk traditions, dissolving into the Kadampas, and then the Kadampas and dissolving into the lineage of the profound view and the lineage of extensive practices. And they all then end up as just the 2 figures on each side, the figure of Lord Maitreya and Lord Manjushri. And then we concentrate on all the other members of the merit field, starting the lower part of the Dharma protectors, the Dakas, Dakinis. They all dissolve into the grouping above them. And so they dissolve upwards, and then arriving at the end, where you are left with only the figure of our own root guru. And so at this point we have 5 remaining figures in the merit field, the Vajradhara, then Lords Manjushri and Maitreya, our own root guru, and of course the central figure of Guru Maninja Vajradhara. And this is the point at which he paused the dissolution of the merit field and focus on just these remaining figures. And it can be, obviously then quite more easy to do this because of a less crowded picture. And then after focusing on that, then we dissolve it further, and beginning with the Vajradhara, who comes down and dissolves into the central figure. And then Lords Maitreya and Manjushri come in from the left and right and dissolve into the central figure. And finally our own root guru moves upwards and enters into the heart center to remain at the heart center of the figure of Guru Maninja Vajradhara. And then we focus on that central figure for some time. Again, we find here we can have an easier, maybe more detailed focus on the central figure. And then we make our supplication prayers. And this is the point at which we can offer the stake-like supplication from the miraculous book of the Galuptas, which goes, "My most divine Guru, Lord of the four Kayas, I make petition to you, Shakti Muni Vajradhara. My most divine Guru, Lord of unimpeded Dharmakaya, I make petition to you, Shakti Muni Vajradhara. My divine Guru, Lord of blissful Sambhogakaya, Lord of sundry Nimanakayas, embodiment of all Gurus, embodiment of all deities, embodiment of all Buddhas, Dharma, Sangha, Dakas, of all Dharma Palas, and ultimately my most divine Guru, embodiment of all refuge, I make petition to you, Shakti Muni Vajradhara."
아니 조금 제tun에 조금 더 지내 야고 여러다 가이나면 어디를 지내 엔데네다 아니 다다 말씀제 탐제게 아니 다 사바다 갑도 다다다다데 다 간제제 가서도 조바치를 납주 걸 이마인자 조바치라고 걸 이마인자 다 조바치라고 통배게 아니 제가 다 뒤지 밥사치 다다 손에 제 뒤지 밥사치로 다 갑도가 다 신이 되죠 신이 다주 전전이가 된전이가 다 갑도 한 거라 미다게 아니 가서도 뒤지 밥사치로 손nep지다 미다 또 요거도가 다다다 조바치라고 제도 다다 말씀제 탄제가 사바다 자치외 아니 계세가 조바 라보체나라 최신도 넘는 거 아니 라말해 진게 랍도스스 안 다가자지 수시도 랍토바테 안 말랍도 타면도 랍토바 지기 랍토바 다기 정도 대다 제너바테 안 라말에 징글 랍토스 순대체 순대 잡아라더니 라말 하이 안다 라마 통화도 장그 다 고속도래 안 두제 안 빠도 매바 주나 랑다 타고도 심제 탈에 찍고네 마셔 토마면 디바치다 케바도야 안 다 그때내게 안 계세가 좁아질 라베게 아니 람미발라 바도 저 디바트 마 장청수 삼삼체 아니 야조 되지 중앙에 때는 아니 당부터 가고 시체죠 디바트 저마 장청수 니바데 또 세세치 뭐지 또 세코치 아니 좋아할 때는 대다 구순도 그 질라 말로 봤던 문약하나 냥솔렌도 니바 켜봤자 중수 삼삼 같은 데 고바시 거든지
And so then, next then comes this point at which we invoke the blessing of the Guru that we are visualizing, this embodiment of all refuge. And this, of course, is kind of constant with all the different subject matter of the Lamrim that we're discussing from the very beginning right up to the end of this path. So we will call on the help and the blessing of the Gurus. This is very, very important for us to really as it were, it fuel our practice, fuel our determination to continue with our practice. And then here, then we start with the invocation for myself and all mother sentient beings, that we may be able to engage in the practice of the profound and the vast practices related to the all of the trainings related to the children of the conquerors, or Guru deity. Please bless me to be able to make this so. That whatever I can do, please bless me to be able to make this successful. And in relation to the practices of the six perfections, related to the practice of the four ways of accumulating the disciples and so on. And as a result of our supplication, then light rays they emanate from the figure in the merit field, Guru Maninja Vajradhara, and at the outset they are white purifying lights, and they enter into the crowns of ourselves and all the kind mother sentient beings surrounding us, and they completely purify all the negativities in general that we have accumulated since beginning this time, as well as the obscurations, but particularly focusing on the obscurations to our being able to fully perfect all the trainings on the six perfections and the four ways of accumulating disciples. Next, we continue with the descending nectar light meditation. And here now, with the second coming of the nectar lights, the golden light is predominant. This is the light of endowment. And here, entering into our crowns and all the crowns of surrounding Mother sentient beings, we are endowed with the kind of blessing to be able to really effectively practice and perfect all of the perfections and 4 ways of accumulating disciples. In other words, giving us the added capacity to be able to engage into those practices.
다 당고데 란주 멤버 집에 다 파제 두고 냠내들라 어느 지원 라마라 검시변 안에다 제다 삼대서 말씀제 탐제것도 유한유와 양도버서 사제 고마를 보자 다 진행자 토버자 왔다 타고 지야도 대체도 다 내고다 아니 년자라 소바 라피다와로서 다 로다 그저 직대 취재 온도 마도 와체 직대 취재 집버스 맞잖아 가자 미다와로서 취재에서 pombe semjen남라 담배취 아니 진유소서 그래서 진유 또봐 추기지 마다 같이 카운트도 다 같이 지금 되게 요가 줄라 대대 추기지 마다 같이 로다 같이 추기지 마 로다 상생이지 마 아니 가서데 다 같이 잠배지 마라 미지배 잡지 마서 다들 집어들 집어 시장에 숨ሻ게 다 가이나면 어딘데 쟤는 다 같이 왔다 다 지금 추기지 마다 다 로다 어떤 추기지 마 왔다 진유 자, 가서 닦아야지. 버지면 나네. 그래서 심지어 담제도 유한유 양도 산재 고발을 지대에 대체도 내고다 년자라 소매. 남미다와 취지 풍배 심지어 남라 담배 취진뉴스 되봐 취기지 받다. 뭐 취기지 받자. 대야라니 최체바 보러 거봐 많이 받다. 저기 취시 저기 취기 기행서 되는 민이 유명을 맞도 봐. 닦아자 간통도 그 편도도나 아니 저기 가서 닦아자 조명을 취기잖아. 생그 소라게 식단도 제 가서 식단도 집에서 다시 계속 집어나 뒤도다 근데这个다 소소 신경면은 다가 신경면스 야 신경면은 마비시는 제시자요 말봐 신경면은 신경면스 신경요나 telefone 편도 요바 신경도나 아니 제시제 집에서 삼바삼비요서 직 로바다 된제 고와 지쳐봐 줘봐
And so this then completes the preparatory section of this outline, and that then we move into the main body of the session and the kind of subject matter related to that. And this is simply the 6 perfections and the 4 ways of accumulating disciples. And so with regard to the first, the practice of the 6 perfections, here we're conscious of having the Guru on our crown and entering into the meditation of, I must do whatever I can to attain the state of enlightenment, the precious state of enlightenment, in order to do that as quickly as possible in order to benefit all Mother sentient beings. And that means then, in order to facilitate that, to create the causes for that, I want to be able to engage in the practice of the giving of Dharma to those that are bereft of the Dharma. And I must do this without any regard for gain or for fame or anything else coming my way, but to do whatever I can to the best of my ability to be able to give all sentient beings the gift of Dharma. And of course, this is one of the different categories of the practice of giving. It has 3 different categories: giving the gift of Dharma, giving the gift of material things or goods, and then giving protection from fear. And this is the first of these. And it says here that when it comes to giving the gift of Dharma, it doesn't necessarily mean that one has to, be established as an official Dharma teacher, that you haven't been sort of appointed to a position, but that you actually do whatever you can. If people have questions regarding the wording or the meaning of texts, then you can, to the best of your ability, explain the wordings and explain what your understanding of the texts are. If you don't have that understanding, then it's no fault to say, I'm sorry, I do not understand, I can't help you. But if you have some understanding, then it's very good to be able to engage in discussion, in a kind of a friendly discussion as to how to clarify the meaning for those who are asking you the question. So this is based on your own analysis and to be able to engage in that. And so this is important to understand that those who are genuinely making these queries, that they are able to avail of useful explanations given in conversation. And to the extent that they can increase their wisdom based on learning, contemplation, and meditation, to that extent in future lives, you will also increase your wisdom.
이내야 미수 되와 매시도 우주자의 매래. 그러나 되와 도나 괜찮 지수나 어디대자. 야 건녀도 로아지자 오늘 편도 여와지마 이나는 거다. 야 주마지네 셰트의 요거다 이내다 디수 야 바르부게 내제 신서 배라고 좀 맞도 도서야 토굴리 계좌로 왔다 가서 내 당보 수 계좌 지수나 바셰제 지수 맞으나 야 신규여도 저 시고 셰죠 다들 셰 먹어 버치나 셰모거잖아 야거지다 저 neuron 인바 이나 되잖아 가서 neuron 따에 또 가고 요래 내 당보라 다고 도서야 내제 롱게 계좌로 와 내제 롱게 계좌로 왔다 어디는 아니 개 치슈들라 야 먼저 답변은 다 드릴까서 대 맞다 냐마다 민다와 쳤다 소소 lumbar 답변은 오스트레일리아 소로는 멀티컬처 자인 계급도 출로담다 미리미다 뭐뭐 좀 돼서 돼 봐이마자 야 지금 나라도 지금 남배 랍자들 셰고네 갑도기 소소 삼로 당사도 어디가라 샤체는 소소 대바 요래 이지 요래 뜸배게 다 지금 유대도 신기 요래 된데서 뜸배 수와다 추하면 비다고 싫을때 이래야 소소 파셔고도 인지면지 지금 뜸배게 산제가 수원에 되는 라모고 받체체는 야 리베토네 좀제토네 파탄 셰바이나 안도스 야부이다 릭실이야 산제가 수원에서도 야 도스 남자 갑도들이야 야 코란족이 다 지금 출루민자와다 된데 임바다 야 최케말링 그 된데 임바이나 야 갑도들 산제가 수원에서도 야 도스 편토야 도스 눈도 주고 와 일레고 가서 리베람네 게데 셰네 좀제토네 게데 셰는 로기나 안디 편도 자체와 편도 제도로 와 어떤 저 공부 시작해야 되잖아. 이나 양고 되와 매개저 우주점에 시작해 말 어떻게 어디서 어디서 같이 좀 찾아 어디서
Yes, and so then this point of really trying to use useful explanations in conversation with those who are a suitable receptacle, as it says here. And again, I said this may be quite difficult for those who are beginners. Whether it's kind of the term of the person being a suitable receptacle is kind of more related to those who have a lot more experience on the path and so on. But in terms of our when we should not speak about our understanding of the Dharma to others is really case by case. And that here, yes, if somebody you can see that somebody has a genuine curiosity and that they are asking questions and you have the ability to answer them, sure, that's when you should display knowledge of the Dharma and explain to them. But never should one force the Dharma on anybody or insist that they hear what you have to say, and that if never enter the point of kind of entering into this kind of pontificating on the Dharma just because you know it and saying I know this. To take that approach as well, that's not to be recommended. And particularly in a country like Australia, where there are many different nationalities, many different beliefs, and many who have no belief. If it happens in the context that one is asked about, to give some advice on health or on lifestyle and so on, that it's probably more skillful not to speak overtly that this is Buddhism or this is taught by the Buddha, but take the approach of the giving one's advice based on the path of reasoning itself, and something that is a lot more pervasive, a lot more relevant to more situations. And so to be able to take that point of view, that one is explaining one's own take on this matter according to the path of reasoning.
심전 시행스인데 딱 간제 심전 시행데 이 신기 노블을 하가래서 근제지 편바 제바티 아니 대부라는 용대지 대부라는 용대지 뭐 다들 그래 받아체들 샤랍기를 편도 제바는 겨와치마 비자 라라 샤랍기 주조되지 또 심전 시행데 다 가서를 답에 지금 받아 시보지가 신개발전에는 편유 빠도면 뭐 요되지 대부도 라는 용대지 이 겸상을 와다 야고로 와 그러나 제가 편바주나 아니 소소를 제고 용거 매봐 소리지 할로
할로
야 라라 제고 용거 매봐 좀 공부 마셔 봐자 레치다 라라 제고 용에 그 저와 맞아 제가 편바주에도 편바랑 삼다는데 이내야 다 편바 근제지 제바 이마이네 제고 용 되지 내가 근제지 제바 이마네 제고 용 되지 편유 근제 제바 있는 제고 용 되지 되는 거 근데 이마이자다 제가 시럽게 편바주 할 때는 라라 시럽게 도용 되고 용 되지.
So it's just to keep the main things to keep in mind is that one's motivation is simply to benefit, to be of help, and that so when we are being questioned or somebody has a query of us in regard to these matters, that we can that person, that other, we should see them as in the context of the 8 verses of thought transformation, where it says that other, the sentient beings, are to be regarded as even more valuable, greater than a wish-granting gem. And that this is a precious, therefore, a very precious opportunity for me. And the benefit that I want to give is very, very important. And that's here understanding that even though we have no regard for, we're not thinking about any ripening result, yet implicit in any act of benefit is the fact that we ourselves will receive the benefit of a positive ripening result. As has just been mentioned, if we're trying to help others to develop their wisdom, through learning, through contemplation, through meditation, etc., that help is the cause for us to develop our own wisdom, that we will have an increase in our own wisdom in future lives and so on. So here, it's because of the human beings, or sentient beings rather, are a special basis, and they are more precious than a wish-granting gem. Any benefit that we can bring to other sentient beings, without any doubt, is going to bring forth a positive ripening result for ourselves as well.
다 시랍 내 추구구이做다 시랍게 추 다 추구구이做인베 파파 루주지 데니做시랍데 데니做시랍 인스르다 르 추구 다 간자 추 로다 추구구이做인스 추구주 파파 루주지 데니 做 시랍데 시수베 쳤다 다 간자 디니스的被三界故你这个么的三界故你给那具做过的些了些数别其实
And so this in context then of developing wisdom in others and developing wisdom, as it says, this wisdom is the main cause for the development of the Dharmakaya, the wisdom body of the Buddha. And as it says from Arya Nagarjuna, wisdom is the most important. Of these two, wisdom is the most important. And here again is speculating that that's probably a quote from a text discussing the two bodies of the Buddha, the form body and the wisdom body. and certainly in terms of these two, in terms of the Dharmakaya, wisdom body, was the main cause for that.
Then so la ta rabjong da kiba ni ge na then so la chebta rabjong ina chöge chiba china chige chiba chiye de da ka cha ku ga de to se ma yo de yo re tunge to ya ga ju yo de ki jare da sanse ge chiba chi to tunge ya ga de kiba le yo de re wo de yo de ina da ka cha rabjong ina da kiba ina su yin ba ina da chöge to da ke ge yo ba ina ani chige chibe yu da ni so na ani chiba su ina china 다 지보고 여러 어디 저기 지만네 오자다 라존 남제 지바 숨게나네 저거 저기 지바 예자 퇴상 고소 추점 야와도네 안다 다가 이제 퇴상 고소 추점 다 되게데 아니 지가서다 다 도나마 집에 되게 르 당전에 아니 지 요주전에 다 고고 당전에 교수네 준나서 ana longjo tumne an chiba chawa mana she so de de da ka chiba chi ge na wa de na yo ma de so yo ba ina chiba chi sa se chiba ma wa ina inji min ji jing go di ji che de go go da ani che rang ge che chu tim da ke la be to ba de zo la nyo jo jo ge le ga ma bu che ne mu da de de che ne mu su che da ju su che ne ani wa da de chiba na yo ma res o de che da ka lo zo da ma de wa che yo ba ina o de che
And in this context, looking at the first of these categories of giving, the giving of Dharma, this is mainly the purview of those who are renunciates, those who are in vows. And that here it says that for those who are ordained, the main form of giving is the giving of Dharma. And that's here saying that, of course, that this is regarding really what the opportunity to give is, isn't it? So in terms of those who are renounced like that, the opportunity to give the Dharma is the main one. Whereas in terms of lay people, it may be the giving.
Hello? Go on? I think go on. Cancel, I think here. Oh, his line one looks. No. Hello. Then chance. Then you go do some kind.
You pull the thing.
And so,
Pull and then put back out and then back in.
Yeah, that's all.
click on again.
Coming?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Huh?
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll begin that again. I'm not sure how much we lost in that particular grab. And so yeah, in terms of the giving of Dharma, this is really the field of the those who are renounced amongst the nuns, be able to give that gift of Dharma, because this is their main opportunity for giving. Whereas indeed giving of material things may be more easy for those who are lay people, who are earning and so on. And so this is the reason why. And however, it's saying whoever has, if you have the goods, then it's good to give them. But if you haven't, and particularly for lay people, for those who are ordained, it's very important that you don't think that you have an obligation to go out and earn a whole lot of money and so on in order to be able to give, and thereby either ignoring your ethics, ignoring your study, contemplation, and meditation, or engaging in deceitful and hypocritical activities, all kinds of activities, just in order to accumulate so you can give. This is counterproductive, and one must not take that approach. One must not engage, in that at all.
Janju sembe soda lesa, Janju sembe soda lesa, Sharibu deshen shebe ni sa rabdu chungwa ni sansengi chimbar manango wasa, ta rabdu chungwa la sansengi chimbar manango, ta chimbar manango wasa de inji minji sansen tang chogu mes ke jamari, ta kasana dendegi chimbar tangye che do, ane kaso ta kaso soso ge laba la gyuen che, ta che nyamle la shimba la gyuen che, ne ane chimbar chumye, ane chimbar tangye tene nao chogu, yoba ina, tang chiluwa wata to dati cha sharibe shene ngani kela koza sharabe shene tanda de kaza tanda tiyo ba kasa kata mu lama sharawa sharabe ngani kela toye penyu mi jogi zimbe nimi joba yin she sube chercha
And so then this point is backed up by a quote from the Bodhisattva Pratimoksha, where it says, Shariputra, the Tathagatas have outlined the giving of possessions is not the main practice for renunciates. And that it's not that renunciates should not give at all, but rather it should not be seen as the main practice for them, because they're not in a position to give. And especially they should not engage in giving of material things where it is counterproductive or contrary to their ethical vows or their training or their practice and so on. And so that is saying not that they should never give. If they have something to give, then it's good to give. But you shouldn't see it as their main practice. There is also a quote from the great Kadampa Lama Sharawa, who says, I'm not going to speak about the benefits of giving things away, for I've already told you the drawbacks of grasping.
Jibatana the Pen Chibu Yorba, Jibatana Pen Chibu Yorda, in a few Majuba Janeta, and Majimba in a Nimi Yorba, Nimi to the shaking his one, what the Janeta, Jaji, what the Sumichas. When Jans, when you told some console Ranji, Ranji as a Chudum Sola, Minerva, Sumeto, Juna, Kunjog Choba, and it's a Nianola Chiba, draw Chudena, Sansenji, as a Pantabayina. Rana Kewa Chiman so church to be twinge, say good name so, say Chibu Jumo, Kaletam Jumo Gobachin, Zumedo Juasa, Gagu Nesh, Shibata, Kaja to Koba Kevacha yours, Jibala Zumacha was a Takaja Chiba, Reta, but the Sansi Chibala, Yuba, and Johnson Chibacha, that's so much yes.
And so, again, from the great Sharawa, pointing out not necessarily the benefits, the great benefits of generosity, of giving, but rather to see the faults of grasping onto what you have, though you could give it away. But this is enough to be able to encourage people to do the right thing. And so it's saying here that, there's a provision here, as we have been pointing out anyway, that for those who are renunciates, that as long as their ethical conduct isn't compromised, that their studies of study, contemplation, and meditation is not compromised, and that that one can sort of avail of material things without too much trouble. Then, of course, it is extremely advisable and appropriate for them to give to those who are offerings to the Triple Gem. They give to those who are poverty-stricken, and to give to Dharma friends and so on, and to give the benefit of material things if one has them, because this is very, very important to be able to lay down the causes by which one can come into the necessary facilities for perfect Dharma practice in future lives. And so it's an understanding here that one is eradicating the obstacles to being able to have enough to be able to engage in proper spiritual practice in the future. This is a good motivation for giving in this context.
다 짐바들라 지다 짐바베 태바 치보 말에 아니 가서데 지가서데 단다데 단다 가서데 발리 트래디션 수게 지바당게 요레 지바당에 룩수 요레 안다데 추르 세바줄레 지바당 요레 다가는 이제 최 캐말랭 거 중에 집바다에 루스만 보여 봐. 집바다에서 이제면 저 추기 개척해 뭐 도와. 직접으로 같이 판도지. 꽃집바다. 얘네 다다 뭐지? 아니 다다데 가서데 다다데 가서다 제조 파제 두긴 난게다 집바스도 다 가르침 거라서나 장주가 세고 숨네 심제 탐제도 산제 고마도 배치도 집바지에 다가는 이제 디 아니 셔럽 디 아니 가서데 다 간자제 셔럽이 집발라 줘야라 아니 돈이 도배 셔럽이 심에 그래 다가는 장주 셈다 돈이 도배 셔럽 얘기 아니 심버체네 아니 집바 땅세 유 집에제 아니 집안 땅에 소소 유대나 말고 똑바로 팔다서 이봐. 어디다 삼로다는 미미바 개답는 집에. 다가는 집안 뒤에 안 다다디 강에 유바다 강에 세워서 많이 봤잖아. 로다가자 오다바 저기 집안 이바이나 다한테 뭔가 다다 세워서 맞디 심지어 탐제도 산지에 고마토를 치노. 저기 집안지에 오다들지. 아니 미지베 집안에 다가는 산지게 집안에 가리 이바이네 오다들지. 그런 쪽에 다 연중 가서 혼자 장주가 쌤다 돈이 또 셔라게 쓰바지 제제 다 뒤잡아이나 아니 셔라게 파지가 냠내 차기로 와 지난 집안 주로 강가를 룩수여를 최케 말린 거래 집었다 룩수여다 이나야다 택바 침비 쪽에 집었는데 장주가 쌤다 돈이 또 셔라게 쓰바지 친구들
So and that of course, generosity is a subject, a practice not confined to this school of Buddhism, not by a long shot. But that, of course, there's teachings on the practice of generosity in the Pali tradition and practices in other spiritual traditions. And indeed, even those who hold no spiritual tradition, they cherish the practice of generosity. And what distinguishes generosity as we are describing it here is because it's the perfection of generosity that we are practicing. And for an act of generosity to be counted as perfection of generosity, it is imbued with the mind of enlightenment, the wish to attain enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings. And that the motivation must also be imbued with wisdom. So it is a combination of the mind of enlightenment and wisdom which recognizes that the object to whom I am giving, the materials that I am giving, that I, the one giving, really empty of any objective existence and merely imputed by thought, and that there is no sense of inherent existence in this act whatsoever. And that so when we are giving in that way, that becomes the perfection of generosity. And it's in terms of the Dharma, giving it the gift of Dharma, it's the same. That in any instance of that, we are imbuing our motivation with the aim to attain enlightenment to benefit all sentient beings. And so this act of the giving of the gift of Dharma is creating such a cause, so on.
다 가제제 지금 랑게 싱거여나 파조다 때문에 추기 진바이네다 추기 진바다 랑게 싱거여나 파조다 도나 요겐들 마지바이나 안제바 용구요레 제바 용구요레 와다 되게 심바체네 로페나 산신 바이네 파조다라다 펜도 제투에 저 마지바이나 아니 제바 용구요레 마지바이나 제바 용구요레 다야 지면에 관련 누구도나 아니 거 야고 진바다 마지바체나 마지바 야기요레 코란 도다지요 봐 그럼 팽거 여바이나 아니 맞이나 맞으면 님이 요구요. 어디를 요구 어디죠. 딱까지 어디죠. 딱까지 다 미지베지만이 미지베지만 다 개보다 총고라서 봤다. 고마다 잡아라서 배. 아니 미지바다. 다가는 신게 딱까지 제 제세게 지바 다다 생기다 주의다 딱까지 자세게 지바 자다 제세 속에 지바를 껴봐. 다가는 중에 지바 매다 추다 딱까지 저기 자 저들이 집에 껴배 다가서 출라 속에 담에 주 롱다가제 저 중심이 원래 잡이 좋았다 안다는 사이미라 소바 가이는 거다 다 집에 먹죠 다가는 지금 이제 다 내나서들 강에 채내다 지금 쉬고 지금 다 내야 될 지금 다가제 다 지금 다 집어내 자유고 다 되고 다 간제 잠에 집에 자기로 왔다 뜻을 잡아 요되고 왔다 간제 왔는데 전 다가제 내 나서 저외는 내 나서 딜에 잡이 치도 아니 지금 매다 나서 왔다 왔다 배마 주위에 왔다 될 가이나 요구로 소비스 대야 타나 정부서 와서 취켜와라야 답니다 부정마서로 차바자도 취켜줘서 소소 통도는 잡토에도나 아니 잡이야 제와들이야 안 되바지야 아니 보생라 소관 니마다 매치와 치고 좀만하다 니마다 매치에서 탑계게 지만되다는 격투와 격투를 답변은 점점 어쩌다 지금 대변한 차바자 지금도 아니 지금 가서는 스네일 생기만 부지는데 저들랑 갈래 보자만 무슨 미가만 무지기도 아니지 답변은 다 배트로 타줘야 요 말에 다 이내 다 내가 지금 맞아야 탑시지에 과연 지금 소설 뒤주 요받지 안 탑시도나 와다 내 순자의 전에 봐 뒤에 신제 탐내도 산제 고바토베 제도 인성자체네 와다 근데 중앙 이바 이내 이제 심지어는 뇌제 근데 중고다 뇌제들 잡던 지혜지 다 소소 탑시도나 다 리카샤 탑시 싸워니 매게 줘도 탑시 가 요말다 나 잡아도 니제 kom 아니 다 되네다 같이 세표와 따라다 감성 고저와지 좀 가밖에 주 수준 동네를 타대 아니 대적을 리더라서 원니네 대화지 미디어 산제 고마토와시 요다 되게 소소 개와다 몰롱라 정모아를 제면도 탑시 싸워니 매게 줘 다 탑시 요겐도 알 칸도도 아니 탑시 제도나 다 배하고 여러 왔다 까지 미지베지 봐서 왔더라
Yes, so that in terms of the opportunities afforded us in this context, in this level of generosity, the perfection of generosity, that if the opportunity is there for us to give, and it's seeming to be clearly beneficial to do so, and we don't, then that's considered a fault on our side. It's not just simply ignoring the situation. And the same in terms of the giving of Dharma. If the opportunity is there, if somebody is requiring clarification, we don't give it, even though we can, and then that's considered as a fault as well. And so here we must be conscious of the obligation that we're taking on as well in embracing the perfection of generosity. And that here then the giving of fearlessness is the second category of the giving of generosity, and that here this includes the protection of those under malicious rule of a leader, in ancient terms a king, or from those who are robbers or thieves, from people who are dangerous. Giving a fearlessness to people and to animals, and also the giving of protection from wild animals, like tigers, lions, in general, poisonous snakes, birds of prey, and indeed wild animals in general. The giving of protection from fear there, and it also includes the giving of protection from the elements, fire, water, earthquakes, etc. In whatever capacity we have to offer protection and fearlessness in that context. And this can go to the point of really protecting worms and so on from being carried away by the water, or when it rains a lot, we see a lot of snails, and to take them off of pathways and roadways as best we can to avoid them getting squashed and so on. And that in terms of ants as well, being taken away by a flood, we protect them. And indeed with the worms as well, that they are not exposed and to the sun, fire and so on, that they might burn and dry out. And so all of any which way like this, that we can do so, to take the opportunity to be able to give the gift of fearlessness. And this includes, of course, the providing of care and medicine to those who are sick as well as our prayers. And indeed, in many cases, we often find that though we want to help, we have no means or opportunity to do so. But we shouldn't feel that we can do nothing in that case. In that case, we offer meditations on compassion, on love, on increasing the refinement of our mind, and making on their account and sending them out to be to them.
这说我的这我的人他的我的就是我多这他的这这他这下小嘛呗这下小就是有说我的这下小嘛他的这他感觉给持续的他感觉这个告诉的没感觉我他也偏到接触么多偏到嘛说身边这个多他所以看接触的这安尼拍照的偏到嘛多的关键就落个的 소중한 선바 상보체 아니 펜도체 고급 거기 중화이나 펜도체 아니 파조들 펜 토마토도 소소 셈데체 가서 파조도 문화도 펜 토마토 코란조가 레그 누가지 참고도 레그 누가 맞아나 가서 펜 토마토 코란조라 펜 토마토 따주도 다 랑게 펜 토마토도 파토 아니 되네 토마토나 셈데체는 좋게가 요마 아니 소소这个什么上不真，那当然那个偏头嘛，毛把牛都偏头嘛就用少上啥些，我这上不当然，这个我这古龙也不开，这刚才拍照的偏姑娘拖的嘛多这，家的嘛说老板要嘛人，家我就说家我就先把老板人，可差的拍照的来面的偏头对个要嘛人，我的，是吧？可是拍卖给，那边叫不过了偏头嘛多的你说的多，是吧？ 可能不过来面呢，旁边个我的不过来偏多我们多啊，对的，我等着的，可能来这玩意，人家说中国的偏多，他妈的可能也不给偏多钱多的，那等着就得下。
And so and we leave it there, just to emphasize, it's very important also to keep in mind that the onus on us is to be as beneficial as we possibly can in this context of the giving the practicing of the perfection of generosity, and that this very much depends on there's two parts to that equation, that we do what we can from our side to perfect our motivation, to go through the process, to dedicate and so on, and to perform a perfect act of generosity, of benefit. Now, whether the one we're trying to benefit actually receives that benefit or are capable of enjoying that benefit, that's another issue. It may be the case that they don't have the karma to be helped in the way that you have given them help. And so this must be understood too, not to get frustrated that when we're trying to help others, and that they don't seem to be able to avail of that help or to be benefited by that help. This is important, that we make sure that we do the best we can, that we have a clear motivation, and that we have a positive mind and attitude going into it, and that we are doing everything from our side to make sure that we are doing the very best with our act of generosity. And that and so once we look after all of that, and that should be good enough for us, that we have done our part. Whether the other person can take advantage of that, that's a different issue. And so if they can't, then we just simply rely on our own prayers as well. That, perhaps in the future, I can be more skillful, that the karma will be right between us for help to occur in that situation. And that, we can't say that, we don't have control over these situations 100%. That we only have a part of the control. The other part is how the other person is going to respond to our help. And this is borne out in so many different situations, isn't it? No clearer than in the relationship between parents and their children. We often see that no matter what parents do, sometimes the children do not have the karma to really feel the benefit or to be benefited by their parents. So we leave it at that for today. And so we begin then the conclusion, as we normally do. And here the invitation to our Guru to come and take the lotus and moon seed mandala that we have placed on our crown with the recitation of the invocation verse 3 times. O glorious and precious Root Guru, come take your lotus and moon seed placed here on my crown. Keep me safe in your kindness, bestow on me the attainments of your body, speech, and mind. At the end of the first recitation, the journey begins. At the end of the second recitation, the replica of the Buddha comes to the seat on our crown, and at the end of the third recitation, we really feel that they will remain steadfast there until we attain enlightenment, and that's something for us to rejoice in.
And then I rang in the Bama Tabjachel Kusu, such and did the Niman Dawachis Compassion. And then I gender, but the Lamatani will Kusu to Tabacos, Nivacos, Susu, Sanjay Kumamato, the Chesu, Compassion. And then I needed that Bama Tabjet Masum, and beginning in that and they got the Tojic of Zengarch, Samota, and did Tagodo. Caso diet of monument Mamonis and not Korasum you did Samota. And this Shamdelata Arabas and the Korasumche. And this Shamdela Tendenga Yeta my head of my shaman sword, when not Korasum, what did the Compashe? And then what the day Ningu will Tobashaja to a Yotik and Tele, and we said part of Mabra Rangit, Candiga Palo, we said to Valatena, and Lunga Yesugi, and Church of Kagan Tamjasa. Twenty Maluva Tans, Yamushu, sons of Compashe.
So, and then we offer the 7 limbed prayers and the mandala, and then again we make the invocation verse, this time having prepared the lotus, sun and moon disc mandala seat at our heart. O glorious and precious Root Guru, come take your lotus and moon seat placed here at my heart, keep me safe in your kindness, bestow on me the attainments of your body, speech and mind. At the end again of the first recitation, that journey begins down through our crown, through our central channel. And at the end of the second recitation, the figure of the Buddha comes to rest at our seat, prepared at our heart. And at the end of the third recitation, we feel that the Buddha will remain steadfast there until we attain the state of enlightenment itself. And again, we pause to really appreciate this. This is something really super wonderful. And then the 8-petaled upturned lotus that we have prepared closes over the figure of the Buddha. Is sealed at the meeting point of the tops of those leaves by 5-pronged white garter. And then it's surrounded by, encircled rather, by 3 different mantras. The first in the clockwise direction, which is the main mantra of Shakyamuni Buddha, Om Mani Mahamuni Soha. And then the anti-clockwise one is the mantra of wisdom, Amarapasanati. And then the anti-clockwise, the one going in a clockwise direction again, the third is the mantra of dependent origination. From within the the enclosed petals, and then light rays emanate, countless light rays emanate from the figure within, and then pour through the leaves of the lotus and entering into every cell of our bodies, from the crown of our heads to the soles of our feet, and eradicating all negativities and obscurations that we have accumulated since beginning this time, and endowing us with all the blessings of body, speech, and mind.
The Kanada Kari when she was at Lavato, Joshi Komanya, Matagana, long Tilegi, Gant of the Massa, and Casada, and Gumeta, Gun to get the Massa, and Gumet. There is never so some what they commercial. And then that Gun Cheshu, new to Sanjay Gomatawala, and Gun Cheshu, the Tamena, Gun of Kanata, one of Jabashi Chato, Yabu, some such. Then I ran a ship to tell London language. Lama Shajas put the Henji chicken channel, so Louis the Lama Shajas in the cooler to so Rangi should have sent the legend and Lama Shajas to the Henji chicken, so sent the Lama Shajas to get Tulas and go to Yeme Chasu, some channel, and Nedia and Negan Daniel, and Caso the Tabiship to Josota. That's the Tamja Sanjay Kuma to bring us in Nimati to so Mekao.
And then we, of course, in our these lights that are purifying our body are also balancing any of the elements within the body that have become unbalanced, and indeed also they are rendering faultless any faults that have occurred within our channels, winds, or drops in the subtle body. And so we are rendered like in such a way absolutely perfect for practice, and that indeed also any proclivities for sickness or disease that we have within the body are also completely purified as well. And that, and most especially, we are freed of the greatest obstacle to our practice, our speedy practice towards enlightenment, and that is this sense of seeing everything in ordinary appearance, and that this is eradicated from our thinking, from our perception, and now we perceive everything with pure appearance. And so at this point then, through the combination of our own most subtle wind acting as the substantial cause, together with the body of the Buddha, our own body transforms into the enlightened body of the Buddha. And then through the combination of our own most subtle mind acting as the substantial cause, together with the mind of the Buddha acting as the cooperative conditions, our own mind is transformed into the enlightened mind of a Buddha. And that this then we see that our body, speech, and mind are now inseparable from the body, speech, and mind of an enlightened Buddha. And also the place that we are in is transformed into an enlightened Buddha realm.
구조도 뭐 예매처도 두갈에 왜서 빠도 매버잖아. 감성의 심자 탐자라 포할 때는 대다 탄자자 안에 도바산제 도바샤제도 구조도 뭐 예매처 내대야 안에 다베셔도 교수 선선고 고버샤.
And then seeing ourselves as a fully enlightened Buddha, we send out countless rays of light into all the three realms of existence, and then all beings within those realms immediately arise as fully enlightened beings. And that all of the places in which they are purified of all fault, they are transformed into pure Buddha realms.
심지어 탐제에도 산제에 고마 주변에 또 심지어도 타지부터 원한 님들은 주도서 섬자다 심지어 탐제 산제에 고마로 거봐 대체로 소소히 개와 가르 주비요 봐 안 주변에 소소의 제바가 유대는 말이와 똑같이 판다 삼제 섬섬다.
And so then all of the sentient beings that we have taken to the state of enlightenment, how wonderful, we have fulfilled that particular purpose with the understanding that all of these sentient beings, that all of the virtue that I accumulated to be able to lead them to that state, and indeed the very state of enlightenment itself, that all of this is completely empty of inherent or objective existence, and it is merely imputed by thought.
또왜 받아서는 또 유대도 두산 요말이 서어디가 섬제 되네 딜레 ene 동바테 동베 대와테 대도니스베 시께수서 고바시.
So from that then we meditate on emptiness. From that emptiness arises the bliss, and we abide in the wisdom of non-dual bliss and voidness. Yeah. So we'll do our Lamrim prayer. So from my two collections of vast space that I have amassed from working with this effort, I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds' wisdom is blinded by ignorance. Even if I do not reach this state, may I be held in your loving compassion for all life's mandatory. May I find the best of complete great paths and teachings, and may I please all the Buddhas by my practice. Using a skillful means drawn by the strong force of compassion, may I clear the darkness from the minds of all beings. With the point of the path as I have discerned them, may I uphold Buddha's teachings for a very long time. With my heart going out with great compassion, whatever direction the most precious teachings have not yet spread, or once spread have declined, may I reveal this treasure of happiness and aid.
May the minds of those who wish for liberation be granted bounteous peace, and the Buddha's needs be nourished for a long time by even this great path to enlightenment completed, due to the wondrous virtuous conduct of the Buddhas and their children. May all human and non-human beings who eliminate adversity and create conducive conditions for practicing the excellent paths never be parted in any of their lives from the purest path praised by the Buddhas. Whenever someone makes effort to act in accordance with the tenfold Mahayana virtuous practices, may they always be assisted by the mighty ones, and may oceans of prosperity spread everywhere. Keep the Strada great treasure and compassion, not only the true existence, and Manjushri master flawless wisdom, as well as the Japani destroyer of hordes of demons without exception, Sankapa, crown jewel of the sages, land of sleep, blessing Drapa at your feet, I make request.
Thank you.